Namaskar, let me welcome you all to today's episode of Sitar Learning Essentials. Today we have come up with a very important and essential aspect of sitar playing. As we know, in our instrument, in sitar, we have 18 strings. It varies. Basically, in Gandhar Pancham and Kharaj Pancham sitar, it can vary from 80 to I think 20-21 strings based on the number of strings on the upper bridge and the tarafs, the sympathetics. And mostly the melody part is played on the main string or baj ka tar or naiki tar, and also in sometimes for the lower octave and ultra lower octave for the Kharaj Pancham sitars. Lower octave in both Kharaj Pancham and Gandhar Pancham sitar we play on Joda string, and in Kharaj Pancham sitar we get ultra lower octave, like one extra Ati Mandra, so that we play it in Laraj and Kharaj, which is present in Surbahar also, which has been borrowed from Surbahar. So, other than the melody string, there are many other strings. We are having two chikaris. In Gandhar Pancham sitar, other than Joda and main string, we have Gandhar and Pancham string. In Kharaj Pancham sitar, we have just Pancham string. We have, the sympathetic strings. Now, the music will be impactful once we utilize all these other strings, other than the melody strings, in judicious way and in proportionate and in balanced way. Many of the students I see, once I ask them to play something, mostly the beginners I'm saying, mostly they start playing, okay, play sapat or play some palta or play some composition. They start or any other composition, or they jump into playing on the main string. Play some palta. So directly they start playing on main string, which is not correct. You listen to any performance, any recording of any established artists, you will see the music strum starts with some tanpura sound, and which is followed by this chikari joda. At least one round or couple of rounds, and then sometimes they strum the sympathetic string. Sometimes you might find, I have listened to some recordings of Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, it starts, then immediately he starts playing a composition, but in the middle he strums this chikari and joda. Okay, so this chikari and joda strumming is extremely important to set the context of the pitch in which we are playing. Even if we don't have the tanpura, then it sets the context of the pitch against which we are playing. What is our sa? What is our zameen? What is our ground floor? And rest of the composition or any other content, whatever we are playing, is built based on that ground floor. So whenever you have a small break while in the learning session or in a conversation, if you are having a leg dem, then you will see always whenever we have a gap, before strumming the main string, always strum chikari joda, and then before a phrase also we start with the chikari. For an example, So where to strum other strings and where not to strum other strings, this sense we need to develop. Okay, so we have understood that we have to start with the strumming Chikari Joda, and then in between, when the sound fades out and we start another phrase, then also we have to strum Chikari as a filler, because sitar is a strumming instrument, it is not a bowing or blowing instrument like sarangi or bansuri, flute or violin, where as long as we bow, we get the sound going, flowing. Here, once the sound fades out, then there is a silence, and that silence we have to fill with this Chikari, which is again tuned to Sa. It is a beautiful concept. It is just like a punctuation. Just in between phrases, we have comma or semicolon, so the Chikari comes as a punctuation. I'm talking about alap. And when we are having the resonance going, when we are enjoying that resonance, in that within that time frame, don't strum Chikari or Joda. Then that resonance will be overlapped with that sound. The resonance of the sustenance of the sound will break. Don't strum Chikari in between. So, till that this process is complete. After that only I am strumming the Chikari. So once this is done, then only I am strumming the Chikari as a filler, not in between. So this discussion is very important, where to strum Chikari and other strings like Joda, Chikari. And sometimes I see many artists in between phrases, that the way we strum Chikari, they strum like this, taraf like this, which I personally don't prefer. I am not saying it is wrong. It depends on artist's choice and taste. This is not my taste to in between strum like this, taraf like this in between the phrases. Okay. Sometimes we start with strumming the taraf, then we play maybe alap, then jod, then jhala. Maybe before again starting the gat, we might strum the taraf once more, just as a at the beginning, to give the context of all the swaras which are being used in the rag, but not in between the phrases. That I personally don't prefer and I don't do. Now, and I also don't suggest my students to do that, right? Okay. Now, next thing, when to strum the Joda while playing alap, right? So the way I look at it, the entire alap is a storytelling, and in a story we have different paragraphs. Within a paragraph we have different sentences. Within one sentence there can be multiple phrases or one phrase. So in between the phrases we have comma, semicolon, so that comes as Chikari. In between sentences we have a full stop, punctuation. So that is the Chikari Joda combination. Okay, that's the logical way I look at it. For an example, if I play 2-3 sentences, and you see there will be few full stops in between. So once the paragraph is over, then mohra comes. That means I am done with this paragraph which covers this particular zone which has these melodic centers. Now I will go to the next melodic zone which will have maybe certain other melodic centers, certain other important notes of the rag. Okay, precisely that is all about usage of other strings, like in particularly chikari and joda and tarafs while playing, while starting our performance, while playing in alap, and while playing compositions are having certain gaps, in that we use chikari. That gives more clarity on the gaps, particularly for the students. And in between tans also you see the emphasis, the way we strum the chikari, it varies also, right? In jhala we have certain level of strength while playing chikari. While playing tan, in between, once we strum chikari and joda just to indicate the tempo to the tabla player or for ourselves, its strength is different. And while playing alap, the pressure with which we strum chikari, it is different, right? It is softer. When we play alap, the strumming on the chikari is softer. And while playing tan, so in between we are playing chikari, that strength is different. And when we are playing jhala in little medium tempo, so these are the things when I used to learn from my father, he always used to emphasize on these aspects of usage of other strings. Sometimes he told, you are excessively using joda while playing alap. So I reduced it. Then he told, no, joda is not at all there in your alap. You should not fully exclude, but you should use in a balanced way. So it took some time for me also to understand the proportionate way, how to use. So these are the things which I understood based on my father's supervision. When I performed, when I practiced, when I played in front of him. I think these are the points which I wanted to share today. Maybe we will continue this series because this is a vast subject, and in case if you have any question, please drop a comment in the comment box, or else you can drop an email which is given in the description, video description. And those who have not subscribe to our channel, please do that, and click on the bell icon to get all the notifications when we upload such informative and educative videos. Also, we keep on uploading many other recordings on Sitar and Surbahar. Please stay tuned. Namaskar. Thank you.